in the infield, looking to go green. All right, edging down the back straightaway as they work their way slowly now. Rounds turn 3 and 4, looking to get to the white line before they can hit the button here, and Doug Clark will bring the green up. It's green flag. Here we go. Langerud leading the field and looking strong as he works down the back straightaway. Lauren Langerud, the car number 56L. Rylot in that second spot now, the 35T, as they work down the back straightaway, and King in the 88K in at third. Field stretching out a little bit here on the second circuit, and still some action on back there for those qualifying spots. Tommy Scott in that 8th position now and working right behind him. Whoa, and Dan Oswald has a little trouble and has to get off the button now, going down the back straightaway. Langerud out in front, the race leader. Rylot in at second, the 35T and the King. Kuba in at fourth, that 8th spot. Up for grabs. Dan Oswald still in that 8th spot, and moving up now, Zeal down the back straightaway. They go side by side, racing for the qualifying position. Completing lap number 5. And Rick Zeal, a man on the move in that 18Z. He's trying to work on another one. Bankston out of the turn. John Bankston trying to hold off Rick Zeal, and now here comes Dan Oswald down on the inside, the D1 car. Oswald working on Zeal in the field. Race leader Langerud under the white flag. Jackson driving the 50 car, the transfer position, this time down, white flag. And now the checkered getting set to come out for Langerud.
In row number 1, Tim Kading and Manny Rockhold in row 2. Then Larry Neighbors and Kenny Jacobs in row 3. Travis Whitney, Stevie Smith in row 4. Donnie Schatz and the Dude, Danny Lasowski in row 5. They pick up the pace.
Green flag waves, and we're racing.
Down into turn number 1, some contact there. Stevie Smith into the wall.
Stevie Smith keeps the pedal down in the Ingersoll Rand, car number 19. Munson leads the way. Here comes Donnie Schatz.
Look at Schatz up to second already in that Parker Stores number 15. It's Monson, Schatz, Tim Kading, battle for fourth now between Schleman and Lasowski. Lasowski down to the bottom.
Lasowski now up into the 4th spot as Manny Rockhold challenging Schleman up over the wheel down the back straightaway. Here comes Stevie Smith back up to challenge Lasowski, battles for third.
It's Monson, Schatz, Lasowski moving in on the 10T of Tim Kading, the youngster out of California making his first Nationals appearance. Lasowski has the bite off the bottom side of the speedway and puts the Beef Packers 83 into third.
Now Donnie Schatz reeling in Tim Munson up into the 4th turn. Down the front straightaway, Munson shows the way. Schatz still working the high line of the speedway, reeling him in off turn 2.
Shots up high now within 5 car lengths of Monson down the back straightaway. Larry Neighbors a close call with Micah Schleman. Battle for the lead into turn number 4. Shots down low, can't make it happen.
Munson hanging on to that top spot. Donnie Schatz still running second. Danny Lasowski third. Tim Kading fourth in that final transfer.
We've got 4 laps down, 6 laps remaining. Here comes Donnie Schatz, gonna try the slide job. Up to the cushion, takes the top spot away.
Got it, Donnie Schatz, now your race leader, driving the Parker Stores car number 15. Monson now back into second. Lasowski hanging firmly into the 3rd spot, and Kading running 4th, but here comes Stevie Smith.
Smith pulls up in front, takes the 5th position away. Got to get by one more car to transfer directly to the A main. And the driver of the Ingersoll Rand number 19 working the bottom side in turn number 4.
6 laps down, Stevie Smith with a bit of time as he tries to reel in Tim Koenig into turn number 2. Smith running the low line of the speedway. His Manny Rockhold also challenging for position.
Donnie Schatz crosses the start-finish line to complete lap number 7. The advantage over Tim Monson right now, 2.9 seconds, with Danny Lasowski 4.2 seconds behind the leader.
Your race leader, Donnie Schatz, running into turns 3 and 4, battling with traffic. Keep your eye on your top cars. As Lasowski now closing. Uh-oh, here comes Stevie Smith. Stevie Smith now up into the 5th spot.
Make that 4th for Stevie Smith, and he's in a transfer position. Battle for 5th goes wheel to wheel between Manny Rockhold and Tim Koenig. Rockhold with the slide job. Koenig tries to cut it back underneath.
White flags are flying, this time by Donnie Schatz. One more time around the fast half mile. Leading the way over Tim Monson, Danny Lasowski, and Stevie Smith.
Schatz works it down the back straightaway. Built his lead to 3.6 seconds on the white flag lap. Final turn, final time. Tony Baucom and checkered flags waving.
Donnie Schatz driving the Parker Store 15, your winner. Now your battle for 2nd, Danny Lasowski takes home the 2nd spot. Monson 3rd, and the Ingersoll Rand 19 in 4th.
The 91 of John Cernette and the 88L of Lance DeWeese.
Jared Hull sets the pace into your 2nd Napa Heat Race event. As the field works through turns 3 and 4, we'll start up on the white line. Doug Clark takes a long look. Green flags up and down. We're racing.
Side by side off the front row into turn number 1. Hull on the bottom. Give the lead to Donnie Gaydon on the high side of the speedway. Look at Ed Lynch Jr. work the Indy equipment 2L as Ronnie Day takes 2nd from Jared Hall.
The Apollo Rocket now running in that 4th and final transfer. Now Danny Wood also up to challenge. Ed Lynch Jr. off turn 4. They race side by side through the turn.
Wheel to wheel down the front straightaway, catching up both of them with Jared Hall. Wood on the inside, Hall outside, Ed Lynch Jr. right behind him, looking to go 3 wide. Can't make that happen. Danny Wood 3rd, Ed Lynch Jr. follows into 4th.
Your race leader throwing sparks out the back end of the car number 27G. Donnie Gaydon shows the way. Ronnie Day running 2nd, Danny Wood 3rd, Ed Lynch Jr. 4th. Then your battle back there for 5th.
Gary Wright puts the F&J Construction number 9 into the 5th spot. Hall runs 6th. Lance DeWeese struggling in 7th. Needs to make some moves quickly here in that CMD Mushroom Farms 88L.
Bonini now up to challenge DeWeese off turn 4, driving the Premier Equipment car number 72. Looks to the high side as DeWeese runs the bottom of the speedway. Hall, they'll make it 3 wide through turn 2. Here comes Bonini side by side.
DeWeese still holding down the 6th spot. Bonini up on the cushion, follows the driver from Mont Alto, Pennsylvania, off of turn number 4. Meanwhile, your race leader, Donnie Gaydon, with 1.7 seconds over Ronnie Day.
Danny Wood still running in that 3rd spot. Ed Lynch Jr. in the 4th and final transfer. Then it's Gary Wright, Lance DeWeese, Dwayne Bonini, Jared Hull, Cernette, and Bellino.
Top 4 remain unchanged, and a big break between Ed Lynch Jr. back to 5th place running Gary Wright, and Lance DeWeese struggling here. He's in danger of having to run the B-main this evening as we've got 6 laps down and 4 laps remaining in Napa Heat Race number 2.
Oh, and look at the sparks are flying. That's gonna bring out the yellow. That's gonna bring out the yellow. Johnny, my guess would be some problems with the brake calipers perhaps on the 27G of Donnie Gaydon.
You can see that rotor glowing hot as he comes down the front stretch and heads toward turn number 1.
6 laps are down, green flags waving. 7 down, 7 down.
Ronnie Day taking the lead from Donnie Gaydon on that restart. Here comes Gary Wright to challenge Ed Lynch Jr. for 4th.
Donnie Gaydon now up into the 2nd spot. Excuse me, Danny Wood to the 2nd spot. Donnie Gaydon back to 3rd. Ed Lynch Jr. still running 4th. Gary Wright now working the bottom side of the speedway.
Lance Deweese up to 5th, needs to get by one more car to transfer to the A. He was your second fastest qualifier this evening. Doug Clark waves the white flag, half a mile remaining in Napa Heat Race number 2.
Ronnie Day bringing the car number 88W through turn number 2 for the final time down the back straightaway. If Lance Deweese wants in the main, he's going to have to come and get it. This time by John Gibson, checkered flags out.
Ronnie Day in the Country Builders number 88W picks up the victory in Napa Heat Race number 2, and Ed Lynch Jr. holds off Lance Deweese. Your second fastest qualifier this evening's headed to the B main.
Yellow lights are off. Dean Jacobs setting the pace in the Holbrook car number 8D. Off turn 4 to the white line. Green flag.
Brent Antill trying to come from the top to the bottom, and Jacobs will have no part of it as he powers strong down the back straightaway.
Steve Kinzer now up into the 5th spot as Peter Murphy and Brent Antill go side by side off turn 4.
Good race in there for 2nd and 3rd. Murphy tries to the inside. Back out on top now is Larry Pinniger. Heads to the bottom and tries for 3rd.
Steve Kinzer, not yet into tonight's feature event, but now pulls up behind the 2 battling for position. 3 wide racing through turn 4. Steve Kinzer not gonna get it yet.
What a run by Steve Kinzer. He's trying for Pinniger. Got it down out of turn 1 now. Kinzer in at 4th and looking at Pete Murphy down the back chute.
Dean Jacobs off turn 4 showing the way. Brent Antill running 2nd. Peter Murphy running 3rd. Steve Kinzer in the Superman 11 running 4th.
Larry Pinniger now drops to the 5th spot after racing well all evening long. Kinzer gets by for the 4th spot and trying to close in on Pete Murphy.
But now Tim Schaefer up to challenge Larry Pinniger as they race through turn number 4.
Kinzer in the transfer position now. Continues to try to work and close in on Murphy, and well out in front is the race leader, Dean Jacobs. Halfway, coming up shortly.
Steve Kinzer still challenging for that 3rd spot with Peter Murphy. Now into the high side of turn 3. Kinzer tries to pull up behind him. Murphy with the advantage off turn 4.
Just past halfway now, and Kinzer dives down to the bottom on Murphy.
Here comes Murphy, now back around him on the bottom side. Your race now for the 4th spot. Murphy to the bottom, Kinzer high. Peter Murphy runs a low end of the speedway. Kinzer shoots back around the high side.
Ah, what a race we've got going. In for the 3rd spot, and looky out racing well as Brent Antill in that 2nd spot.
Steve Kinzer now settles into the 3rd spot. Peter Murphy running 4th. Larry Pinniger 5th. Tim Schaefer 6th. Here comes your leader off turn 2, back straightaway. Give him a shout, Dean Jacobs.
Kinzer trying to close in on the 11L of Pinniger. Schaefer rather down the back straightaway. Schaefer taking a look down on the inside. White flag out this time down.
Dean Jacobs brings it down into turn number 3 for the final time, this time off turn 4. Checkered flag's gonna be out. Here they come. Dean Jacobs. Running 2nd will be Brent Antill. 3rd, Steve Kinzer. 4th, Peter Murphy.
6, Brian Grimes. 71A, Randy Anderson. 4, Kenny Hansen. 22C, James Chesson. 57C, Scott Whitworth. And the 93 of Kevin Gobrecht.
J.C. Solowski bringing them through turns 3 and 4 to the white line as we get set to go green. No start, no start, no start. No start, and the yellow flag will come out. Oh, Randy Anderson! Upside down in turn 2. Red flag coming out. The yellow is coming out because of a bad start. Solowski brings them to the white line in turn 4. We're racing. Check that 4th Napa Heat Race event.
Darren Pittman slides to the cushion, nearly loses control. The Casey's General Stores 47, 3 wide racing for a moment down the backstretch and into turn 3.
Pittman threads the needle and takes it in a second. Oh, hang on, Gobrecht gets a little out of shape but gathers it back in the Amoco car number 93.
The G-Man's lost a lot of positions, however, he's back to 7th as the Stroud 1S